Jesus was outside one day, teaching people about God, when someone in the crowd called out a question for him to answer. "What must I do to live forever?" "That's easy," replied Jesus. "Love your neighbour as much as you love yourself." The man in the crowd thought he might try to trick Jesus, so he called out again, "Who is my neighbour then?" "I'm going to tell you a story so that you can answer that question for yourself," replied Jesus with a smile. This is the story he told. A man was travelling from Jerusalem to Jericho. He was all alone. He was on foot, and it was a very dangerous route. All of a sudden, some robbers leapt out from their hiding place, stole the man's money, beat him up, and left him by the side of the road to die. A while later, another man walked down the same road. He was a priest at the temple, a very important man. But he just took one look at the poor man, crossed to the other side of the road, and walked on by. Not long afterwards, another figure appeared on the horizon. He was a Levite, someone who also worked at the temple, the kind of person you might expect to help someone in need. So, what do you think he did? Rush to help the poor man? No. He did exactly the same thing as the priest. He crossed to the other side of the road and walked on by. Later again, a third man came down the road. He was riding on his donkey. This man was a Samaritan. Now, the Samaritans did not get on at all well with the other people around them. In fact, they hated most people. So, did the Samaritan walk on by, go to the other side of the road and ignore the man who had been hurt by the robbers because he was not a Samaritan? No. He felt so sorry for the man that he rushed over to him, bandaged his wounds, helped him onto his donkey, and took him to an inn in the next village. He even gave the innkeeper some money to look after him until he was well again, and even promised to give the innkeeper some more money if he needed it. Jesus looked straight at the man who had asked him the tricky question and said, "Which of the men do you think was a neighbour to the man who had been robbed? The priest, the Levite, or the Samaritan?" "I suppose it was the Samaritan," replied the man. "You have answered correctly," said Jesus. "A neighbour is anyone who needs your help. So now you need to go and help your neighbour too."